So, Ye likes nitrous oxide, the same stuff that we use when we going fast and furious. The turbo when you going, you're now consuming that. Whoo, yay.
Ryan Garcia, this Jay. I'm on the nitrous.
I was at the dentist office the other day. I was taking a nitrous oxide. I suggested if anybody's like stressed out.
You read the title correctly. The Kanye West situation is truly insane, crazy, sad, whatever buzzword I put in the title, because it seems that Kanye has become addicted to nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is a very dangerous thing to be addicted to, and it's great to watch people on TikTok use buzzwords to try to confirm that it is actually a bad thing by saying terms like, we're so cooked.
Completely and irrevocably cooked.
The Kanye situation is truly insane. He's doing a thing that you should never do. Why do they all talk like that, man? It's like TikTok accent. Now, this was exposed by Milo Yiannopoulos. I probably said his name wrong. Triple Red, Carmela Harris, Good Kid, Mad City. There's a lot of pronunciations that I can't say properly. Now, just
Good
to give
Kid,
some
Mad
context,
City.
nitrous gas is colorless, non-flammable, and it's a depressant like alcohol, basically used during medical procedures to calm someone down. Hopefully, you guys have never tried it before, but basically, it's known as laughing gas or whippets. I'm not sure why it's called a whippet. That's like the slang name for a dog in the UK. So, like a lot of drugs, it does mellow you out, but the problem is it is incredibly addictive. Now, the problem is with nitrous, to abuse it recreationally and not in like a medical setting is incredibly dangerous. Surprise, surprise, you had life-changing surgery and the doctor gave you some morphine for the pain. You then take the morphine home and start injecting it into yourself every day. Bad things happen. Surprise, surprise. Now, there are loads of complications from nitrous gas. Kidney damage, liver damage, brain damage. I actually remember a news report last year of a girl that was abusing nitrous dioxide, laughing gas, to get a little high, and she ended up being in a wheelchair. Now, the main reason is because nitrous oxide gives an incredibly short high. I think it's around 5 seconds or something. So obviously, you're not going to take one hit and that'll satiate you. You're going to want to keep going. I'm looking at this news article here, and she started off
5 seconds of high is crazy,
and then it became 24 every day, up to
often sold in packs of 24. Carrie Ann started using at parties every few months, but this quickly escalated to taking up to 4 packs of 24 canisters. 4 packs of 24 canisters every day, totaling nearly 700 canisters in a week. That's how addicting this shit is.
700 canisters a week. Wherever you guys live, you might see these on the street. They look like these little canisters that you use to like refill like pressure in BB guns or something. That's what I wish they were for, but 9 times out of 10, that means someone on your street is using them to get high. So you're probably wondering, if you're inhaling the funny fart canister, how does that put you in a wheelchair? Well, the main reason is you get nitrate oxide overdose, your brain gets clogged, so basically you get permanent nerve damage. This girl lost all sensation in her arms and her feet. And I'll be honest, it's really weird to hear the game theories that Kanye could be hooked on this stuff, because the only time I've ever heard of laughing gas being used outside of a medical setting is basically like kids just abusing it at like house parties and stuff. Basically what I'm trying to say is it seems to be like kind of a lower class drug, if that makes sense. So for someone like Kanye, a literal multi-millionaire, to get hooked on it, it just seems really bizarre. It's funny because laughing gas in the UK actually became so bad that they classified it as a C-class drug. Like, it's basically the lower end on the drug spectrum, the lesser sentence, but it wasn't even classified as a drug before. They had to put it into a category because so many people were basically just spamming it every day. I actually remember as well, there was a lot of investigations, and it was so like comedically easy to get your hands on nitrous oxide. Basically, all you had to do is call up like a cake company and say that you were buying a crate of nitrous oxide for the cake. And the reason for that is because the NOS, the nitrous oxide, basically whips the cream faster than if you just did it by hand. I mean, I'm not joking. Look at this. I just pulled this up on a website now. I can buy these. Like, I don't know if there's any verification or anything, but I could literally buy a pack of 98 cartridges, and they are the exact same as the ones that you find like lying on the streets and stuff. We'll get into how Milo has involved himself in this story in just a second, but I do actually want to focus on Milo for just 1 minute.
No,
so this
I'm
guy
here for
has
Kanye.
a very, very controversial past. Like, for example, getting banned off Twitter for harassing Leslie Jones.
Because destiny. What is best for our nation?
Netanyahu, what do you have to say? What do you have to say to Alex Jones right now, Nick Fuentes and Ye? It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Ye. Okay.
Remember when he ran for president a couple of years ago and it ended up just him crying on the stage with a bulletproof shirt on?
But even if my wife were to divorce me after this speech, she brought North into the world, even when I didn't want to. She stood up and she protected that child. My mom saved my life. My dad wanted to abort me. There would have been no Kanye West because my dad was too busy.
Oop. Oop.
And then after Kanye's presidential campaign ended, Milo was actually moved over to working as chief of staff for Kanye's brand Yeezy, which, by the way, is such a wild transition, basically going from like political commentator to working with Kanye on clothing. But unfortunately, that came to a close around
We know
May
how the
this year,
political
when
game
Milo
works.
basically said he was stepping down. He didn't want to work there anymore, mostly because he wanted to pursue making and directing pornographic films. So Milo's history has been wild, to say the least. I feel like this guy has lived like 7 lifetimes of what the average person goes through. But after leaving Yeezy, he actually started to share some pretty concerning news about Kanye publicly. So this is when the public as a whole was made aware that Kanye could possibly be completely hooked on nitrous oxide. And then people started to put 2 and 2 together. There was clips of him on social media and interviews mentioning nitrous oxide, and those started to go viral.
Garcia, this Ye, I'm on the nitrous.
And I was at the dentist office the other day. I was taking a nitrous oxide. I suggested if anybody's like stressed out.
What the fuck, man?
Now again, NOS is a really weird drug to get hooked onto. I mean, stuff like cocaine, that's kind of associated with the higher class. I mean, it's not in the UK, but I mean, you know, I think there was one guy in Succession that had like a cocaine problem. So there's a lot of people on Wall Street and stuff that probably touched that drug. You know, usually the drug pipeline is you smoke a bit of weed. The weed doesn't hit it anymore. And then you move on to a stronger and stronger.
I'm not going with that either. Y'all niggas need to sit y'all ass down. If the weed ain't hitting no more, that means you're a crackhead. You're headed to be a crackhead. There is never a time where smokers say, you know what, this smoke ain't smoking no more. No, dumbass. You need to sit your bitch ass down, or you need to consume something natural. You know, some people prescribe to like a shroom or ayahuasca to where, you know, if you need to go to another realm type stuff, you need to feel differently. But niggas ain't never smoked no weed and said, I need more than this. What the fuck? Y'all niggas weirdos, nigga.
A drug. I know the whole boomer thing that like weed is a gateway drug, but in some situations, depending on your lifestyle, who your friends are, and where you live, it definitely can be a gateway drug. But again, like NOS is like not even on that spectrum. How the hell did you get addicted to it in the first place? Well, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's used in a medical background. So Milo is actually claiming that his dentist, Thomas Connolly, who is Kanye's dentist, is actually the guy that got him hooked on nitrous dioxide. So in this Twitter thread, Milo basically goes into detail how he looked in.
Hold up. Milo said, there is a reason Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, is no longer capable of successfully releasing music or clothing. In fact, there are several reasons, but the most serious and the most recent is his dentist. Wow, Thomas Connolly.
Actually the guy that got him hooked on nitrous dioxide. So in this Twitter thread, Milo...
Connolly got Ye hooked on nitrous, laughing gas. It is my belief that Connolly sought to diminish Ye's mental faculties so that Connolly and his business associates could extract millions of dollars from him. Earlier this year, I uncovered the fraud and intervened. Ye, hooked on nitrous, blew up our relationship on purpose by proposing something he knew I'd have to resign over because I told him so. the resurrection of his longtime idol fantasy of making porn.
Basically goes into detail how he looked into this and he tried to intervene with Kanye, and that's when their relationship fell apart. You know, especially when Kanye announced that the news about Yeezy producing porn, and then he goes into detail about Thomas Connolly, including saying that this is the same guy who put...
He said, Thomas Connolly is a dangerous predator who targets African American celebrities, into whose mouth he puts fake diamonds, and I suspect he did to Lil Yachty. He must be stopped. I filed a complaint with the California Dental Board last week to that end.
Fake diamonds in multiple African-American musicians like Lil Yachty. Although after that, he pretty much does retract the statement about Lil Yachty.
I have just been informed that Lil Yachty took his own diamonds to Thomas Connolly to be fitted, so he knows they're legit. My bad. As I mentioned in the affidavit, Connolly's business partner, hacker Idris Kiba, can be unreliable. He was the source of this claim. Okay.
He's saying he was informed that he got the info wrong about the legit document containing...
Here's the full text of my affidavit. It makes for a very shocking read. Sworn juror affidavit regarding Thomas P. Connolly. Being duly sworn, I hereby blah, blah, blah. Damn.
Information that is true from an affiant. Basically, to paraphrase or to put it in like much more multiple acts to Kanye, including physically moving like 4 canisters of nitrous gas into his home. And apparently
Thomas Connolly is a dentist licensed in California with the number 101. Maintain. The affidavit pertains to the action. Okay. The unlawful supply of enormous quantities of nitrous gas to a wealthy, famous patient for explicitly recreational use. 2. The physical transportation of 4 surgical-sized canisters by Connolly himself into the patient's home on just one afternoon. 3. Charging more than $50,000 per month for this service. He's charging $50,000 a month for Ye to consume this nitrous. Ye, they selling it on Amazon for $39. You might get little canisters, but that's because that's all you need. This nigga doing big ball. He trying to get high for life.
Charging $50,000 a month for the...
Continuing to supply the gas long after the emergence of distressing symptoms that led to widespread comment and concern. 5. Instruction to the patient in the operation of nitrous gas canisters left by Connolly at the patient's home. 6. Knowingly encouraging their use in the absence of a qualified anesthetist or medical professional by a person with a history of mental illness and addiction. Facts. Kanye's been addicted to multiple things.
Even continuing to give Kanye this supply of NUS when there's obvious health concerns that are starting to arise. He actually goes on to say as well that Connolly wanted to move in with Kanye just to constantly administer and take care of this guy with nitrous oxide. If anything, that reminds me of the situation with Michael Jackson and Conrad Murray, but this is like an even more extreme degree. If you don't know who Conrad Murray is, he was Michael Jackson's house physician. And in 2011, when
Michael definitely said, I don't trust this man. I don't
Jackson
trust
died, he was actually convicted of involuntary manslaughter for giving Michael Jackson too much propofol, which is an anesthetic usually to help people go to sleep. Basically, the rest of the document goes on about how Kanye got this titanium grill installed, which I'm sure you've all seen, like he's been flexing it constantly. And during that operation, he was probably under nitrous oxide, and that could be when his addiction actually started. Apparently, he was very dependent on the gas, and he was open.
So Kanye got addicted when he got the titanium grill. Crazy work. By April, employees at all levels of the company were worrying about Ye's dependence on the gas and speaking openly about it. Ye talked about it nonstop in meetings. He seemed to be in and out of the inhaler mask and on a near constant basis. Even posting a video message to the MMA fighter Ryan Garcia on the subject. His derivatives were becoming incomprehensible and contradictory. Yeezy staff who could adjust for Ye, the women proficient in that subtle, sometimes dangerous art of distinguishing between a troubling episode and a regular Tuesday, all agreed that something was off. Ye insisted that I stop referring to Connolly as the dentist and call him Tom. As many as 5 Yeezy employees are said to have been sufficiently worried as to have taken photographs of the home nitrous installation. Home nitrous installation is nuts. When challenged, Connolly admitted he had taken the canisters to Ye's home, but insisted, absurdly, that they were empty and had always been empty.
Talking about it, and apparently from that Kanye was hooked on Nos, he tried to talk Kanye out of it, and Kanye basically kind of all crazy. Milo shows a bunch of additional interactions between.
This needs to be a long-term goal. Get recreational nitrous legalized. Meanwhile, we master the delivery system with a 2-year head start.
Between himself, Kanye, and
wow. Dr. Thomas Connolly. This needs to be a long-term goal. Get recreational nitrous legalized. Meanwhile, we master the delivery system with a 2-year head start. Surely you are joking. Prolonged misuse of nitrous causes birth defects, problems with B12. Your spinal cord disintegrates. Why would anyone want to introduce another drug to an already depressed, addicted, demoralized, and apathetic population of dopamine slaves? Yay. Can I have the nitrous today? That's so Kanye, bro. Can I have nitrous today? He asked right after that, like, yeah, fuck what he talking about. Tom, you said you'd bring them today. Checking in. Let's see.
And the dentist Connolly, after Connolly basically publicly came out and said, oh, Milo is talking a bunch of shit. I do not have this guy hooked on Nos. I'm definitely doing nothing of the sort, living in his house rent-free. Now, before jumping into that, we need to dissect. Please. Milo then.
Wait. Damn it.
Of additional interactions between himself, Kanye, and the dentist Connolly, after Connolly basically publicly came out and said, oh, Milo is talking a bunch of shit. I do not have this guy hooked on Nos. I'm definitely doing nothing of the sort, living in his house rent-free. Now, before jumping into that, we need to dissect what...
That is what it looks like. Okay, that shit makes it. Stands about 10 inches. AI-generated handheld nitrous oxide personal use system. AI generated. I loaded the AI with some real N202 images and it can spit this out. So he's just making designs. If you want Joe, the grocer's number to make sense, I need 8. What? If you want Joe, the grocer's number to make sense?
What these conversations are actually referring to. The video that Milo sent over shows Connolly heavily pushing nitrous gas, even to the point of people using it recreationally. Never do that, by the way. Please. Milo then responds, asking if Connolly is joking, and then Kanye basically jumps a picture set to golden Freddy Fazbear.
Czy to Freddy Fazbear?
Like, that is not a joke. I thought this was bait or picture, but if you look at the screenshots and the video evidence, like this isn't a hoax. Why did Kanye choose to have his profile picture as golden Freddy? Like, I get it, right? Discord degenerates, they set their profile picture to like anime or like some cropped image of their character or something. Yeah, it's constant Nos use. I mean, the conversations with Kanye playing as Golden Freddy, they seem pretty accurate. I mean, I've seen other leaked texts of Kanye in the past, like for example one where there was an employee that woke up a little bit late and he was basically telling the guy like, don't bother, you're fired.
Good morning, let's work, you're fired, go home. I'm really sorry, I have no excuse. I set an alarm at 7:30. For whatever reason my phone wasn't alerting me. I woke up at 11:08 to missed calls and got dressed as fast as I could. Lou was already in his way. on his way to get Bugs, and they just got here. I didn't call back right away because I was in a panic trying to find a ride. I know this is unacceptable. I'm sorry. Stop texting. Go find God. Come back after you found God. What the fuck?
And then the guy like tried to cope, being like, "Oh no, please give me the job." And Kanye just replied by saying, "Find God." Now, funnily enough, a lot of people have actually been comparing what Kanye is going through to J.K. Rowling. If you know J.K. Rowling, obviously incredibly famous woman. She wrote the Harry Potter books. That made her an instant sensation overnight. There's an incredibly successful film franchise, but J.K. Rowling has had some pretty controversial takes on trans people.
All right, we're not doing that,
and
man.
Kanye has also had some pretty unhinged takes as well.
We're not doing that. So, Kanye, get your black ass off the fucking... Kanye, you are one of our representatives that we respect. We cannot respect you being a druggie. We already think you're crazy. Well, not all of us, but a lot of people out here believe you're crazy, which is fine. You're probably in a mode now where you're like, good, that's good. But no, it's not good, bro. Be sober-minded, become the billionaire, stay the billionaire. You're about to lose your entire dynasty, and you have a daughter and a son, my nigga. Northwest is going to be amazing. You just have to... You gotta let them lock in. You gotta lock in so that they can lock in as they grow, my nigga. At least give them 8 more years, bro. Give your daughter 8 more years of being regular before you go off and just give yourself up, bro. I get it. You've been famous for a long time. Man, Kanye. Yeah, sad to hear.